for the night. That's cute.
Yeah, it's a
Yay.
little bit.
A little beb. Push the beb button to beb. I wonder what other buttons they've... Such a cute little button, though. I was supposed to argue with this adorable little button.
Little baby button.
He's just supposed to take a little bit.
It's for little naps.
Claire still has a wand of hilarious laughter. Don't know what you intend to do with that, unless you want to cause a good joke.
I don't know why I have that.
Certified
I
Claire
think I
moment.
certified Claire moment. I think I actually grabbed it on accident. But right.
You grabbed it on accident. Because you're a yeen, that's why. By the way, if you find your bar, the blue ribbon bar, a little confusing, don't forget that the 3 dots off to the right will allow you to remove certain sections, such as the Pathfinder Society section, which you don't need.
Bottled lightning.
Bottle up that Claire.
Second. Okay, Greeker.
Also, I have 2 skills. I'm legendary in now.
Oh, I can't
How
find
did you become
Swami.
legendary in them?
Because we're at the level where we can get legendary.
I keep forgetting. I keep thinking it's freaking.
Yeah,
Oh!
Because of Battle Dancer, I get acrobatics legendary automatically, and I get performance.
Wiggle my little feeties at the air. Oh! Get a
So
load.
I got 2 things auto.
Get a load of bay. 33 on
I
a 3.
can throw a baseball farther than I can see.
And I think Claire
I
and I
can
are both
literally
legendary
never
classes.
take falling damage.
Thanks, Claire.
Baseball.
I am immune to falling damage. Unless they're sharp things. Then it's
Actually,
stabbing
yeah.
damage.
Anyway, how about we actually enjoy
Keep
ourselves? How about we actually, get a little. Let me toggle navigation so I can have Goka on the map.
I'm a sharpshooter. Me and Chinese leftovers.
Leftovers, leftovers, chomp, chomp, chomp. Don't forget to hit it and dip it, as they say, and I say it. Man, I don't get some of Goka. It's so goofy. Get a load of those walls. Get a load of that town. Are those walls crumbled?
Also, I want to make sure everyone heard about it. Did you guys hear about the NFT dating site?
I don't
Yes.
care.
No.
I love this season.
I'm with that Dizzard.
I just love the fact that they think this is gonna work to find anything other than a man.
Oh no, it's worse because one of the things on it is it will show your NFT collection and net worth.
You know, this is like trying to find it's like opening a dating site for MLMs. It's like the majority are women. You're not finding who you're looking for here. But maybe they should merge the two. You know, they got the same kind of interests, being their own girl boss.
The Hunbot and NFT crossover, my god. That's terrifying.
Also, they discover very quickly how obnoxious the other side really is, and maybe
Uh,
realize how obnoxious they themselves are.
No, that last part's not. We're talking about NFT bros. They're never gonna realize that.
Anyway, I got a map here somewhere. I got a route. I got a route. Coke.
Yeah, I was gonna coke when we play.
Let's see. Where is my map for? The Dragon Empire's primer contains a beautiful. Here we go. It's the map. Oh man, I love the freaking cover on this. It's spooky magic mega samurai versus ninja.
Nin.
What I want to know. I'm pretty sure the Kuroshirakage, or whatever the thing's called, whatever the what was it called?
Hokage.
No, the freaking the chain thing does not in fact have a double-sided end because that you can't use that end.
That would be the Kusarigama.
Kusarigama, the Nobutsurakage. Gotcha.
Usually only one end would have a weapon, the other would be counterweighted.
The counterweight on the Shuriken, yes.
Oh yeah, that's why I got my my acrobatics up. It's because I'm an acrobat. Dedication.
Anyway, you're in for a long trip. The Dragon Empires are huge, massive, and you're going on like an eight-ish month, 8-ish week, 2-month trip on boat, seeing the sights in the kind of way that you'd normally only get on something like, say, the what's it called, Trans-Siberian Express. The thing had a special name, didn't it? Express. Really? YouTube? No?
No.
I watch recently a thing that takes that idea, but whatever. Call of Cthulhu, of course, because who else is going to use that Trans-Siberian Express?
Also, since it's a new day, I can craft 4 bombs. So I'm gonna do that.
It's a new month, Claire.
Oh, we went through the month already?
Well,
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
going to.
I'm not gonna say I crafted like 8,000 bombs. Then.
Well, they go away the next day anyway.
Oh, okay. Right. That's right. I forgot about that.
The Orient Express. Oh, that's what it's called there.
I almost took that.
What is the
That's where
Orient?
people get murdered.
The Orient Express is a long-distance Belgian company, operated until 2009. Travels continental Europe into Western China, Western Asia. Gosh, man, that looks so cool. You get to see so many things. Well,
Yeah.
Beautiful.
the point is you're
If you
going
go on that,
on a big, long, multicultural trip. But first,
Yeah.
we have the dinner. Don't think I forgot that you first have to have a fancy dinner.
Okay,
Big
so we
dinners.
haven't done that yet. Yay.
So let me open up the Ruby Phoenix book 1, because I only had book 2 open just in case you made it that far. We're not out of book 1 quite yet. Buckos!
Oh heck!
After your fine displays of battle prowess, everyone is suitably impressed by your performances. Many have set their sights on particular teams, and some have even already made up their mind. Shortly after the fancy foresty area is toned down, you are guided into the Ruby Palace, to a large table upon which sits almost any treat you could hope to find from across the lands. There are entire roast elephants available, quite strangely made. Someone has taken the time to hammer peppers and bananas into them, each dripping with sauce like blood. It is indeed a spectacle to the eye. Whole whores, whole hogs, whole horses. Whatever you want, they have it, for the most part. You can even get salads made with glittering gold leaf. Literally.
Oh no, we're with those people.
Bethany will indeed, partake in gold leaf salads. No.
Just watches.
It doesn't take like anything, and at worst, it makes your fillings to look cute.
You have fillings now.
Well, if you have any, it would cause that kind of stuff.
Look, she don't even got god dang an animated mouth. I think at this point, like.
I recall when I was young, if I made the and I put my teeth together, they would go and resonate. It's like electrocution in a sense. Buzz.
Ah, yes.
As you enjoy this fantastic feast, the other teams, well, they're all separated by team. There's like even little dividers to make sure that you don't get up in each other's grill. The Lightkeepers are distinctly like being big old grouches about everything that's happened to them so far, whereas the other teams are a bit more loose. Winter's Roar, however, seems right at home as they practically devour anything that ends up on their plates in mere moments. Hao Jin
I'm
has
happy
a
for them.
distant and restrained position in the whole affair, whereas the patron sits at a separate table with her. The Empress, however, seems fit to ghost between the tables, floating from one to the next to ask questions of her favorite teams. Which naturally would include the stars of the night, the undefeated champions, seated first in the tournament.
Talk it, Lightkeepers.
Yeah.
The Lightkeepers
Man,
probably wave her off the second she even comes close. She never got to ask him anything. Is there anything
I
you wish to do
definitely
during this
talk.
fantastical event?
I hope
Talking
Ronto-
is going to be like my thing.
I hope
So-
Ronto flinches every time one of us look at his direction.
Ah, crap.
I mean,
see
other
the
than
button.
eating my own body weight in food and getting absolutely covered in
I call this transformation full belly.
sauce.
full tumby.
Just imagine the messiest eater you've ever seen. Bae's worse than that.
She sounds like the kind of person who would put her hand in the salad dressing.
Yeah,
Ah,
nobody else
Oh.
wants to go anywhere near any food she's touched.
They're afraid that she's gonna bite them.
Somehow there's like
John is probably at a distance trying to be diplomatic and not
there's
get dragged into the hand biting.
there's even
Arba.
noodles on the top of her chair.
Arbeth as a yin, as a knoll, is expected to be a sloppy, filthy eater. Stares at, at Baby Brows, but she is very daintily eating, and very particularly eating it too. But she
Baby
seems to be
Brows
doing
is
it.
Do you get to eat anything before Baby Brows takes a bite off your plate?
Baby Russ is using the correct cutlery and
He's using chopsticks.
very, very
Yeah, she-
carefully cutting things up.
You can tell she's trying really hard to look like she's civil. Look, it's hard as a knoll. People expect you to be stupid.
I like to imagine you like holding the fork and knife like with fists instead of the more refined grip.
She's trying.
And just stabs the meat over and over to cut it. Poor baby, trying her best.
But she's trying her best.
It's not good enough. Everyone judges you.
You judged Claire.
The teams
Grandma,
will remember
what do I
that.
do?
The teams will.
No,
You gotta cast augury at the table to find out how great.
I pull out Grandma's skeleton.
Just a whole skeleton.
We're going to be asked to leave.
You say.
I'm having a social effing episode. Like, but yeah.
I mean, one of the other teams seems to be casting spells almost every other minute, every time they put something new on their table. So hey,
Why?
Magic spell of make this food taste like beef.
Bethany wants to go say hi
Chinese
to,
cooking sugar salt spell.
Summon MSG.
I want everything to taste like beef and bacon.
Bethany
Time
wants to go say hi to like do we know that Winter's Roar is gonna be our first opponent at the end of the
Presumably around this time, though, that bit of information would slowly become apparent. So probably yes.
yeah, she definitely want to go say hi to them, be like, hey,
Well,
what are the Dappers games?
While the Winter's Roar has a normally on the battlefield they're rather cool and composed. Now that they are presented with a surplus of food, they are engorging themselves in the kind of fashion that would befit the end of an Asterix novel, comic. They're not real novels; they're more like comic books. They are comic books,
They were
European
comic
ones.
book. In fact, they're very ongoing.
There's yeah, although I don't know if I like the new ones too much.
I've
Wait, what
heard that
comics?
actually.
The old ones had a certain je ne sais quoi to them, and the new ones feel a little too
Not
focused on.
Asterix.
The new ones feel a little too concerned with. They're either goofily, not necessarily political, but they don't. They don't have a certain subtlety to it that I liked. They're a little more opaque with the names and the concepts and the ideas, and it's just. I like the I don't know what's called in English, but the Roman spa village they wanted to build. Like from the concept of it was a fantastic idea. I feel it's trying to be too satirical because of how old it is, but I'm like, that's like a B movie. That's like making The Room 2, knowing you're the room. It doesn't work like that. Either you can lean into
was
it, I
more
guess.
innocently playful compared to.
But the point is, you're looking at these. Oh God, look at that Bethany gif. It's all over. I'm gonna turn into a dragon so I can take bigger bites. Gosh, that is
I
actually
think we would get asked to leave right after this. Okay, we're gonna have to ask you to get
the
out.
whole party is asked to leave. Sans Kujan, who has not done anything except complain about
Yeah,
the
I'm
rice.
trying to go and be like, friendly.
Kujan gets
What is
asked to
that?
leave because he keeps complaining about the rice.
No, he refuses to talk about the rice.
Not going anywhere near that table.
Why is there nothing on my plate? And it's like just they put like a whole mountain of rice in there because he never told him to stop because he doesn't acknowledge it.
So, Kuchan, rice? No.
No. Get the hell away from me.
Anyway, little Bella, you're talking to Witch's Roar. The
Yeah.
gang's all here.
I take my my bowl.
Is there anyone in particular you're talking to? Because you're small and the team is pretty sizable. Or do you just make a general announcement from the back of Sir Middlefist?
You little.
I just go in with a friendly, hello with my bowl of gold leafed salad. Like, hi, I think we're gonna be your first competitors in the tournament.
There are
So
there are 4 people at this. Oh gosh, what is all this? Gunk is what I see. There are 4 people sitting at this table. If I recall correctly, one of them is a goblin. He is a goblin. Oh, no, it's a halfling. Why did I give him a goblin sprite? Well, that's my problem. One of them is a halfling. Distinctly so. One of them seems to be some sort of goblinoid. They got the human lady, and they got Mr. Orc. For some reason, the book thinks to describe them as outcasts. I'd say this is the most normal adventuring party I've ever seen.
I mean, that's every adventuring party. They're all outcasts. Just a whole bunch of weirdos.
We get the economy moving. God dang it.
Ernok. Yeah, that's his name. Ernok. Why was I thinking it was Ernark? Ernok reaches out to offer you a hand to shake. He's got a big, beefy hand, rough with callus. The kind of meat you only get from someone who's been in many battles and exposed to sheer cold.
Bethany will accept the handshake,
Your little baby hand.
and
Little.
and then she'll tap Sir Malphus and tell him to offer his hand as well, which he does.
Man, I
Now
can't.
crush them.
I can't stand how cute baby yeens look, or animals in general, when they take the bottle.
The baba.
They want the baby milks because they're growing little animals.
It's like hungry.
Baby yeens actually get fed an extremely fatty milk if they're being bottle fed because the mama yeens produce an extremely fat milk.
Get a load of that fat yeen. It'd be so much fun.
Stanced.
This is my bottle, Dwinket States. Anyway, what was I thinking about? Not about shark bait, I swear. Let's see, I want to see for Middle. Oof. So Middlefist Everdream does in fact have a stronger handshake than Ernak. But that's not exactly fair given that Sir Middlefist is a machine.
Yeah, but what if they don't know it's a machine still? I still like that idea.
This, considering what he looks like, does he in any way resemble someone that is just a person in armor?
He has a metal he has a face. It doesn't really move much. Just kind of has like a stoic look to it. But it's still very machinery.
Yeah. It's not gonna fool anyone unless you put a little effort into it, as they say.
I mean, like he could probably pass as an automaton, just one that doesn't move on their own.
Besides, the organizers probably would have taken note of the fact that you have a companion like this with you.
True.
It would be considered fraud if you lied about how many people were in your team. Even
Oh
if
yeah,
it's yours.
okay, that actually makes more sense. Claire's stupid,
Or not.
You know.
Says that, I'm glad to be facing off against you in our first bout, although I find your particular placement as first seed, well, that one is correct. I'm very surprised they put us at the bottom of all things.
Oh, you're at the bottom. That's unfortunate. I'm sure you guys are very skilled in what you do.
We have a higher win rate than most people ahead of us. The highest one of the bracket other than you and the Lightkeepers, which makes this whole situation all the stranger. It's almost as if someone is contriving us to fight off together, since we're both quite competent martial teams.
Ooh, that does make us good opponents.
Arbeth is watching them and calculating weight.
What? For what?
Poison.
Poison.
God dang it, Claire.
Proper delivery. No, it's fine.
Sending you to jail.
Baby Claire jail.
They put you in handcuffs, then they put you in a cage, and then they put that cage in a jail cell, which is inside of a prison.
You're gonna be gone
God.
forever, Claire.
I'm very secure. No, no.
You don't even get a little tin cup to rattle against the bars. Oh no, it's a tiny net. Watch
Well,
out!
then that's back.
But yeah, win or lose, I really hope for the best for both of our teams going into this tournament.
I think you'll be mighty surprised at what we're capable of. We have a good understanding of what we're dealing with.
Oh god, we are really popular.
Claire,
I
we're the
don't know,
number
right?
one ranked team. Of course we are.
Yeah,
I know,
everyone is side-eyeing us in this cafeteria.
It just sort of occurred to me, like, some of the problems with that.
And
Wait.
we also had a very public battle with the Lightkeepers, like, yesterday.
Zoinks. Well, no, you had it today. This is still the same day.
Oh, yeah. Even
Oh, I
more.
thought we were us. Yeah. So what makes y'all go like
Can you give me a list of your weaknesses?
your fears and weaknesses?
Your
I
fears,
just want-
Here's a it's what's it called? What do you call a survey on what makes you die faster?
hello, hello, creature of weak flesh and brittle bone.
Hello, fellow organic blood-filled creature.
I am
Isn't
a
it great
living,
to have organs?
I am a living toy who is clearly superior to you. Tell me your greatest weaknesses and downfalls.
Isn't homeostasis great? I love using my peristaltic systems.
Boy, oh
Man,
boy, I
this
sure.
parasympathetic nervous system that I totally have is awesome.
Would you call
I sure
yourself
love
orthosympathetic
photosynthesis.
or parasympathetic?
I love producing sugars by absorbing the sun's light rays.
Man, this ATP sure feels great in my body.
I mean, what I was going for is like a bunch about us. Like what
Man,
what can you tell us about yourselves?
I
as
know
a-
what you're
as
going
the-
for, but at some level, my brain keeps wanting to go, man, it sure is great to be producing fluids from every orifice.
Yeah, the constant sloshing of things in my ear from my internal organs sure doesn't drive me constantly insane and make me want to kill all of you.
I sure do love having a cold.
Hearts.
I have
United,
5
am
right
I
now.
right?
Yeah, hearts. Is that crazy or what?
Anyway, you want information, they'll give you the basics. Good old Ornak explains that they are masters of the frosty wilderness from the land of the Lenorm Kings, which is a place where you become a big boy by beating up a giant worm, or something like that. They are all outcasts who wanted to make them... Well, let me see if I got this correctly. I recall that their plan... Let's see, they fled for the realm of the...
Posted a gif of you.
Yeah, they even went through the realm of the Mammoth Lord. So these guys have been fighting big things for a while. What was their plan? What was their end point? I recall they wanted to be like a big boy, prove themselves, so that they could set up a kingdom or something. Here we go. Since joining together, the fighters have slowly... Here we go. They each want to slay a Lenorm, so they become Lenorm Kings and claim their own kingdom. And this is just a big training exercise to prove themselves. This is a...
I want to make a kingdom too. That'd be super fun.
He does look at you and wonder if you might be a little small to be fighting Lenorms.
I mean, sure, Metal Fist isn't small.
What level is
He's
a
a big boy.
Lenorm anyway?
Okay, I like the idea that he references you being small, and you look at Sir Middlefist going, he's not small.
Baby. Okay, let's take a look. See, what kind of Lenorms can a person fight if they really want to? Well, they range from level 14 all the way up to level 21. So you better get lucky. How tough are these things? Let's take the level 18 one. The Cairn Lenorm. Oh, that's a big boy, all right. I don't know why, but I love his little grabby hands. I've got little hands. So
can
yes.
write things.
He would like to know, however, what drives you and your team to participate in this tournament, since you appear to be doing rather excellently.
Oh, well, I'm not here to speak for my party because we're all in here for like separate but equal goals. I would like to, make a kingdom or a crafting shop. I'm okay with either end result. I just,
Okay, I'd like.
take the funds to do so.
I want an entire kingdom or a little crafting shop. Either of those sound great. I love you,
I
Bella.
don't know.
Rule the continent or have like a house.
My goals are I want to take over the world. I want to annihilate all living life. Or I guess I could open a small candy shop. It's like when people say I committed murder, torture, and I stole candy once.
Jaywalking.
Larceny.
I stole
real-
candy from a baby, and this is fine by me.
It makes me
Yeah,
think of
Yeah,
that.
that can have small goals or a big goal. But yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Hey, gotta have a backup plan in case your big plan fails. Asarak's like, I might have tried to destroy all living things, but when that didn't work out, I opened Asarak's Dungeon World! Oh, what a trooper. As mentioned, Ernax, like, he finds it rather admirable that you think you can rule a kingdom, given your size, in a world of large people. He wishes you nothing but the best with your efforts, although at the very least, with all your winnings, you'll be able to afford quite the labor, which is what you'll need to set up a kingdom.
Yeah.
Pretty sure by the end of this, you'll be rich enough to afford a castle and everything, so yeah.
Honestly, if we could afford a castle after the end of this, I actually would be kind of upset. I don't want a castle, but
He asks you a follow-up question. What exactly do you intend to choose from Houchin's vault when you have won?
The vault.
Have you
don't-
even considered yet what you might take from that place?
I don't know. I think maybe someone from my party might want something from there, but I don't know yet. I'll see when I get there.
Fujian looks at the vault. Freedom. No more gods.
As you're
Also,
standing close to them, you've begun to notice that every single time they eat anything that's even slightly spicy, like they can't handle it very well. Which makes
Oh, no,
sense.
white people tongue.
Well, they come from a cold land up north, so it's logical they probably aren't too exposed to hot food and peppers.
The eyes. The eye Hulk's goggles zoom.
Meanwhile, Claire, who comes from the
Chuck
jungle, the
Jason.
mighty jungle,
Write that down. Write that down.
Oh, how unfortunate.
Claire just
What?
bites a
I don't
whole
want-
spicy pepper.
I don't want to take too much of your time, It's eating time. So I'm going to go back to my party and, enjoy myself. Also, I want to see what their weapons are, because I assume they have it on them first.
So you do have ulterior motives. I knew it.
Ulterior motives. I'm just sightseeing.
Yeah,
I'm just a little baby.
it just so happens the sights I'm seeing are weapons. Or
Their weapons
accoutrement.
sit beside them, so if you just do a little around the table or peek over, you might be able to see exactly what they have. Let's see. Good old Ornak uses a big great axe, which is crusted in ice at all times. Huldrin Skillsdottir, which is the lady. You were introduced to all of them. That's polite, little lady.
Yeah.
Has a trident from which small embers and sparks rise, as well as a shield that has these. It's a mammoth shield with these immense spikes sticking out the front. Unfortunately, I want to tell Paizo that those horns cannot be used for actual shield combat because they are facing sideways. Thank you. The halfling weapon, which is the only small one, so you can easily figure out who that belongs to. You're not sure. He doesn't have a weapon.
Oh.
You're like, wait, I only count. No, wait, excuse me. The halfling does have a weapon. It's the stat sheets bleed into each other. Sorry. The hobgoblin doesn't seem to have a weapon. What you can tell is that he has like the roughest knuckles of them all.
Oh no, another Ronto.
Just because he has rough knuckles, maybe it just gives very good noogies.
If I swear to God, if we fight this guy and we hear him go Renko,
Oh no.
His name is Trough,
Separated
so you're
at
gonna hear him say Trough.
Trough go.
Frost knuckles, Frost.
Oh wait, I know exactly who he's gonna be. What? Okay, I need to find it.
Finally, you find a filcher's fork, which is of small size and thus probably belongs to the halfling.
A fork?
A filcher's fork. Let me look it up and see what it actually is described as. Equipment. Where is this? Oh, it's in the rules index. Formuloli. Blind pepper bomb. Oh, it's just rude, Claire. No, it is a filcher's fork. Here.
Filter.
This halfling weapon looks like a long, two-pronged fork, which can be used as both a weapon and a cooking implement.
Ooh.
It has the agile backstabber, deadly d6 finesse halfling, thrown 20 feet, and uncommon traits.
That's a lot of traits.
It's a fork.
Very close. Fork.
I mean, if only it was a
Oh.
sport, it would have even more traits.
The scooping trait. You can use this to scoop people's organs out. It's snowman.
Still not good for soup.
Thank Claire.
Yeah. And after my gazing, I walk off back to the party and tell them about, what I
Right
learned.
before you come back, the Empress has made her way to the table.
Ah,
She doesn't just pop out of nowhere, Claire.
okay.
She's politely walking.
I
Oh,
thought she was flying.
I'm gonna put you in this mortar, and I'm gonna use this pestle to turn you into dust. Although I probably won't have to when Sharkbait gets rowdy. And
That's
bite
actually
you,
true.
bite you in the fingy with her little fangs.
She does get rowdy.
She's a little punk. Empress Nyanfei. Why does it sound like it's trying to be a word? More than a name. But Empress Nyanfei, who again, in case you've forgotten, looks like this. Gussied up to the nines. Doesn't even look like a person. Unless you squint real. To be fair, Bella doesn't look like a person either, being a doll and everything.
It looks heavy.
Arbeth looks like a yin instead of a person.
She's really
I'm a
small,
little
so yeah.
golden boy.
And Baby Brows is a freaking little baboon. Sorry, I mean, what's it called?
So, look, the summary is we actually kind of look like a set of like toys.
You look like 1 to 2 scale action figures of an actual team.
And yet somehow we keep kicking the shit out of the real ones.
I can see why they hate us now. I'd be pissed too.
Wait, is this gonna end like that one Powerpuff Girl episode where you nip on the nerd shelf or something?
Oh,
God, I go
If-
back to the show.
Collect.
look, if she does it, I'll like, we get lured off by the ice cream.
Someone puts a donut on your head. The Empress would like to start off by introducing herself formally once more. While she was introduced before the tournament, she finds it only polite to repeat her name before she states the simplest of things, which is that she would like to know exactly what your background is. She wasn't really involved in the selection process of the team, so she's been going to every table and asking everyone, what's your deal? Where do you come from? What are your great actions of renown that have earned you the invitation?
Forest.
What? Trees. God damn.
She seems taken aback by the very bluntness of your answer.
I feel like Bea exited the forest one day and was pelted with the invitation.
One day there was no one, but then there was Bea. She just gets kind of hucked out of the woods.
Falls
Yeah,
out of
sure,
a
the
tree.
woods threw her out to go do something.
Lands face first in the mud, picks herself up and goes, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still hasn't washed that mud off.
I swear to God, it's gonna end with us meeting the tribe of Bias, and it's just gonna be like they all look the same, like every one of them.
The panning shot is just all of them in all kinds of awkward positions.
But with like the same face.
One of them was like bent over the top of a roof, and others like picking the nose. All the same face. Staring off in the middle distance.
That is very surreal. But
The
yeah,
Empress would like to tell you that her what was it again? Lady in Waiting? I don't know what the familial tie is, but her Lady in Waiting. Whatever that is. I keep forgetting. I keep thinking it's like the successor, but it's not that. It's something dumber than
Lady in
that.
Waiting is like your main
It's a-
servants.
Yeah, it's like a maid.
Why is it called a Lady in Waiting? Oh,
Because
they
a
wait.
lady
They
in
wait
waiting
on
was
you.
still technically a lady of the court, but it wasn't high enough nobility to be independent.
Yeah.
Like a lady in waiting was still a very respected position
gosh.
because you're like
Yeah.
the attendant to, to the ruler.
I can't stand dogs who love shaking their head like that. They're so cute. Look at his little butt. Little baby man. There we go. What was that other lady called again? It's in hot news. Because I'm smart. I write everything down. Ah, Lady Cho Mai Shai. That's the lady in waiting. She politely tells you that, unless you wish to make any other introductions, that her lady in waiting has been watching your team in specific with great attention. Primarily because your unique combination of traits quite aligns with her personal tastes, as it were.
Wait,
What?
we align with her personal taste? Did I mishear that?
Yes.
She likes the cut of
She's-
our jibs.
She just thinks you're neat.
We are neat.
I mean, okay, we are. Look, looks at all of us. Yeah, we're kind of neat. Kind of neat.
She
This is
tries
the
to
kind of
explain it
time
the best she
here.
can, and says that Shumashai is quite interested in individuals of great expediency, shall we say, and quite enjoys
Yup.
individuals that employ the usage of animals, which ties back into Bay, as well as those who use assistant forces such as the companion. Your team very, very greatly aligns with her particular tastes.
Speed is all that I do.
Indeed.
Except one time.
What? 3 for 3.
She would like to see how you perform in one of the planned case. What was it again? There was an event where you guys take it. Yeah, there's a Drake race planned for the tournament. I forgot what day it was, but there is an exhibition match planned. Was it day 2? No, that's the Boar and Tiger. And day 3. There's a Drake race planned, and she wonders if you guys will perform as well in a race on an animal as you do on foot.
Kujan just pauses for a minute.
Yes, Kujan. You're going to have to sit down for this one.
It doesn't sound like me.
Well, unless you have anything else to say, the Empress understands that you apparently are more interested in the food than in making polite conversation, which makes sense after such
Oh,
a...
I'm definitely up for talking. I'm a hobnobber.
Oh yeah, we only Bia got to say a word, which is trees.
Yeah.
It left a very strong
Ben's already-
impression.
Ben's already gone off to eat some more food.
Goes to someone else's
You
table.
guys.
Yeah, I was,
Hey, you
I
guys
was
gonna eat those
y'all,
breadsticks?
Oh,
And,
I'm actually
and just
hobnob-
scoops a whole bowl of soup off the table. It's not even the breadsticks.
Nah, I'm totally gonna try to, make a friend with some small talk.
Yeah, reveal your
That's
secrets.
What do
what
you-
I was probably doing is wandering around.
What do you tell her? What do you do?
Well, I want to quickly, in my out of character mind, try to make up stories of the times that he used his now literally legendary speed to.
Are you lying?
Hmm?
Are these real things that actually happened, or are you making shit up?
Some of them are probably real,
Great.
but there's definitely some lying in there because he is really good at lying.
That would be exaggerating.
I don't know why.
Hmm?
Like, I understand what you're trying to do here, Paizo, but the act of lying isn't what the deception check is trying to do. You aren't impressing her by trying to show how much of a liar you are. God damn
Yeah,
it.
you,
Like,
I
the way
guess
this
it's wrong 'cause
the way this is
yeah.
phrased is just dumb. The phrase is, lying to Jan Fei isn't particularly impressive. And I'm like, yeah, because no one's impressed if you can lie good. People want to hear a fun story. Anyway, give me that deception check. See what happens.
I can't use my diploma. Oh wait, they're the equal number. It doesn't even matter. Wow, I actually rolled a 4.
Marvelous.
Wait, but I think I have something for this. I
yeah,
actually have multiple lying feats.
I think you might be a criminal.
Honestly, I might make a whole bunch of feats for Pathfinder 2 in the future because I can't stand the ones they have for skills. They really didn't try.
You know what, Zeph? I'm actually gonna agree with you on that
There's
one.
so many fun things you can put in here.
Yay, sappy homebrew.
Like
Kind
for
of for real, because yeah, I
like for the
agree with
magic
that.
like for the magic stuff, you can put in utility spells as skill feats. Like, oh, you're good at the occult, you can just cast augury, just like that, once a day for free, because you can just talk to the spirits. Oh, you're good at deception. How about you specialize in making disguises? You always know where to find a good disguise. It doesn't have to be anything great and mechanical. It can just be, narratively speaking, you know how to do it. Don't worry, professional.
Hey, the professional's not here.
And then for lore, you can be like your professional Goka lore. Mmm.
Yeah, does
Okay, so
Kujan tell
29.
him? Yeah, does Kujan tell him an impressive story?
Yeah.
Well, cool, John.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out which story to tell. I hadn't thought of one that far in advance.
No, I'm just asking you about your feats.
Oh, I do not have the one that allows me to roll it again.
Well. See, that's
I
where.
don't know if I try a second time to get less of a bonus against me.
See, that's the fun. That's like the fun thing you can do, right? Like you can be like, here's a feat, and it lets you lie again, but only for the purposes of like making up a fun story. But listen, I don't care if it's fucking balanced. It's fun. It's great if someone is like is a what's it called, pathological liar. Hell, you can make them trade-offs. You can be like, oh, you're very good at thievery, but you're also a kleptomaniac. So at times your
Oh
GM can
yeah,
just
yeah.
say that you steal something from a shop and it gets you in trouble. But in return, you're better at it's just a fun little detail that mixes it up a bit. Oh, it'll also be hilarious. Like in combat, you can just steal something for free sometimes because you just like that. You just grab your hands at someone.
You just grisp.
And then, anyway, unless you have something that significantly increases your chances, which you don't. You don't know the fact impressor. She rather quickly catches on that you're just trying to placate her, try to play to her, and she turns to Arbeth, who she is rather intrigued by.
I do have something that lets me do better on a second attempt. I have Confabulator.
Now that's fun.
So okay, so
Even when caught in falsehoods, you pile lie upon lie. Reduce the circumstance bonus a target gains for your previous attempts to create a diversion or lie down to 2.
oh my god, I like that. I actually like that idea where you just add more goofy details. It's like a Danny Sexbang song. You just
Arbeth.
yes.
One of the most powerful people in the entire Dragon Empire hovers over your shoulder and asks you the question, "Where are you
Fuck.
from?"
Oh god, this is where it gets to like the deep lore where Arbeth is in the sandy dunes of a savage Knoll tribe. They're all like scratching themselves and beating screaming things with like in bags with like sticks, and Arbeth's there looking. I come from the desert. she's she's like awkwardly saying, "I'm a scientist. I want to see the extent of my formula making."
Is the Shakwang region a desert or not? Because I think it's the only place that could be a desert. Let me look that up. I'm curious now. The Shak.
Nope. Okay, look, I'm gonna tell you a really stupid reason why Nolzor was in the desert, which D&D really needs to like kind of push away from.
What? Why?
Hyenas are only from Africa.
Yeah.
And most people
Africa-
think of Africa as desert.
Well, also the fact that since it's a fantasy race thing, Knolls don't actually have to be from,
But it's fantasy.
Claire.
Africa.
Claire,
Yes,
I'm gonna.
yes.
This is the part where I grab a knife and I stab you. Claire, did you know?
Okay.
Claire, did you know that Knolls in Mwangi, they live in a fucking rainforest? You idiot!
Oh my
I
blood.
did. Well, I am Arbeth. I come from the rainforest.
That being said, they do, as an environment, live in warm plains or desert, which I guess means savanna and steppes.
God dang it! Okay, it's out my origin note cards.
Oh yeah. Hyenas exclusively appear in warm plains, which again, steppes and savannas, which is sensible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she explains that her goal is to see the extent of her ability to craft perfect formulas.
Hyenas are the sacred animal of the infernal Duke Ruzel. Nice. He is the god of blasphemy, undeath, and comedy. Apparently. What the
I
hell?
mean, spotted yeens do be laughing. Though I think Arbeth would be, since she's tiny, she would be like a striped hyena, which are one of the smaller yeens in existence.
What's funny is that the Pathfinder wiki page still very much presents hyenas as, the murderous gnolls, even though they recently made one where it's like, no, gnolls are cute.
Well, that's what the idea of Arbeth is. She's small and smart.
Claire, your tribe
But
could be nice, but did you grow up in the bad tribe or not? Are you gonna stick with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with I grew up with the bad tribe. I grew up
Surrounded by bad boys.
well, no, worse. Surrounded by dumb bad boys.
They all had pompadours and leather jackets.
Oh no, not the pompadours. They're back, Claire. The greasers.
The greases, yeah, but then the tribe would fail because they would all be gay.
No,
For
what the hell, Claire?
Okay,
There was a group of people that
you're not.
knew on
Yeah, I just realized
Telegram.
out of context. I realized that would be sound very homophobic. I apologize.
there was a group of people we knew on Telegram who were all greaser furries.
Quite a
And
thing for
they
you
were
to
all-
quite a thing for you to say, Claire, given that you have the gayest sneezes.
You do.
Anyway, we'll compensate by just taking Claire, flipping her upside down, and putting her down again.
All right, well, all right then.
The Empress wants to know, however, how did such... And then she thinks back and realizes that no, you're not actually soft-spoken or cute. Baby brows, maybe. But you have definitely been a complete asshole with, the fire and the acid and the explosions.
Everything is a means to an end, and the tournament provides wonderful research material.
So where did baby brows come from, she asks.
like,
Just immediately changes subject.
Arbeth starts to get into some really amoralistic crap, and then suddenly, right, him. Arbeth eyes baby brows. Baby brows eyes Arbeth. It's complicated, very
It
complicated.
speaks to me in the old tongue.
It's
She kind of slowly nods along with that. All right. Well then, what about Kuchen? Since apparently Arbeth just wants to talk about pompadours.
God dang
Okay,
it.
so yeah, let's talk to someone who doesn't have an eldritch monstrosity, apparently. Okay, so what's she asking me then? Since I thought I was done.
No, she just wants to know where you're from. You never answer that question.
Oh, well, I'm from. Originally, I've moved around a lot. He says, not mentioning the reincarnations. I'm from a place pretty far to the south of here. Went to a monastery for many years, actually.
Okay, this is where I'm going to start flexing my knowledge about Galarian.
Oh no. Run.
Oh wait, no. Is that map real? Oh, there is actually a continent south of the Dragon Empires. I never knew. What is that continent anyway? The Sarusan. Ooh, never heard of it. I thought Chansha was like above ocean, and saying south of here would basically mean that you say I come from either the South Ice Cap or the ocean. One of the
If you go far enough south, you eventually go past the south.
I love that the description for Sarusan starts off the least understood of Galarian's continents. Great. Enormous mammals, some of which have gone extinct elsewhere. That's not how extinction works, Pathfinder. If it's somewhere else, it's not extinct. Ugh. And some of which
in the relative wild.
some of which are utterly unknown. Is this place that Pandora, the Penician continent from Dishonored or something? It includes many marsupials. That's adorable.
Yep, probably.
It's Australia, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
fantasy Australia.
Finally.
Space Australia.
Finally, fantasy Australia.
It was once connected to Asia by a great bridge.
Yep, that's Fantasy Australia.
Hey, their ancient serpent folk lived there too. At some point. Reed boat culture. Yeah, this it's said to be the first land containing dense jungles, expansive plains, and harsh deserts. I mean,
Sounds
fair
very
enough.
Australian.
It's a land of pudding.
Hooray.
Point is, she is quite intrigued by this, since you apparently come from either the ocean, an ice cap, or one of the least understood continents in the world.
It's probably that other one.
Well, another that grabs her interest is, of course, Bethany. What is your deal, Bethany? You're a tiny
are you?
little doll, and you have a massive robot man.
Oh yeah. Well, it all starts really in a small hamlet, where Mr. Rivers, made me, and Bethany, not me, his daughter, pretty much wished me alive, because there was some problems in the hamlet. But also, if you really want to go into it, there's the story of Evergreen, the kingdom of vast wealth. It's a commercial kingdom, actually, and they trade in constructs. So that's where I'm from,
Wait,
kind of.
Sir Metal Fist is a robot you purchased?
No, no, no. Miss Rivers and I built Sir Metal Fist, while I was learning.
The
how to
Empress would
craft.
like to know what inspired you to construct this machine
Oh,
instead of, any other pursuit.
well, in my story, the story that Mr. Rivers gave me, I had this knight who fought for my kingdom. I don't have a knight, so we kind of like built Sir Melfist as my knight, and he's my
So,
retainer. Yes.
how about we get to the nitty and the gritty? What exactly do you hold? Like, she basically asks you your motivations. Like, why did you join the tournament as a team? And secondly, if you could get anything out of that vault, and you were the last person alive of your team, what would you take? That vault is
ominous.
filled to the brim with pretty much anything. So if you could pick anything you wanted, and only you, what would you take? Free choice, no bars held.
The deed to a castle.
Gosh, considering that the Ruby Palace is like magically made, you could probably just find a castle in there.
They have some space.
You just have to like
I'll give
get
you
a
a holy
lift.
grail.
It's just like this stack of like what are they called again? Punch cards, and it's like, oh, if you put it in the machine, it prints out a castle.
You get like a magical pop-up book when you flip the book up and just spawns the castle.
Well,
That'd be really
Yeah,
cool.
he wants that now.
Oh,
okay,
I'm sorry.
all right. Well, Arbeth,
Specifically,
Arbeth, what would you want if you could have anything your little baby heart desires,
Looks
other
at
than
Baby Rose
freedom
again.
from baby brows?
explosions.
What'd you say?
Other than being
Sound
free of baby
explode.
brows.
Ah, yes. Looks at me Rose again. I desire a special lens that would allow me to read long dead ancient writings.
Oh, I thought you were just getting stopped with that would allow me to read.
I can't. I can read.
Claire, you don't understand. I have a sticker for this. Not just that,
No, I can't.
Mhm.
but I don't just have one. I have two. I can be smug about it too. I love that I can take both powerful emotions. Oh, kudos to whoever made those stickers. They're so good. I love that they can face off against each other too.
Mhm.
All right, so you a lens to read any language. That feels a little mundane in a weird way, but on the other hand, perfectly understandable. Although she does want to know why you're so interested in accumulating such knowledge.
Oh, that is a special lifetime goal of mine. I want to go and share my knowledge with my people, my tribe,
Then she
and maybe help them.
she thinks back of the immense Star Destroyer buried in the sand, and then the manual in her back pocket for how to operate it. How to fire the Death Star in 2 simple steps.
I just want a Death Star. Is
I
that
want
so
to destroy the
much?
elf planet. Fuck
Just-
them.
it's- like the deep reading and just connecting the dots just reveals Arbith is probably evil.
Arbith is just fucking Palpatine.
Kuchen, you could get anything your heart desires from that vault. What would you aim to choose?
Good question. Honestly, what I've been searching for is, well, there's some memories I've been missing from events. I've been wanting a chance to go back.
In time? Or...
Yes.
Well, considering that in Galarian you can travel to Earth to kill Rasputin, I'm pretty sure there's some way to go back in time in there.
Just realize that Kujan is sort of like freaking Logan from X-Men, where he has like he's so traveled, but instead of like he's just like he's been alive for so long he has damaged like recovery to those memories. It's actually just like multiple lives.
Yeah,
Well,
the memories are missing because of well, you don't get to keep those when you die.
sort of. The soul remembers. Anyway, Bear, the proverbial metaphorical microphone gets shoved in your face. You get a wish. What does it take?
I need something to save my forest.
Then
That's
what?
why I'm here.
Then what is wrong with your forest becomes the question.
Getting very sick and kind of gross and corrupty, and I kind of need to fix something. I don't know how. I don't know magic that good.
Let's hope that there's a
I-
plant auto dock in there somewhere.
I can't punch it better.
I tried acupuncture and pressure techniques, but they didn't work.
Tried homeopathic medicine, and the trees just like drink it like water.
Oh my god! Wait, I just realized something. What if she only hangs around trees, and since trees are just like trees, that's why she acts and talks like this. That's just what they do.
If you want to express emotions,
Because
you
what
gotta
happens
wave
to
your
the rest of
arms.
the trees?
Yeah, like
Well, it sounds to me like you all have. She basically gives you the old. Oh, it sounds to me like you all have some very noble motivations behind your goals.
yes.
Sure.
Right, I do.
Baby Rose barks loudly.
Baby Brow's like,
Baby Rose wants a gun.
we're gonna piss on the moon someday.
Dude, I
wants
don't.
to invent assault rifles.
I don't
I
want
don't
to
know what
know.
that means, but it's
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah, I don't want to know what the like WMD Yane would want from the vault.
I mean, the funniest thing would be to get a weapon that can take the planet of undead and crash it into the planet of elves.
I can already see us like we popped the vault open. It's like, man, we got it. We found it. I'm finally gonna get the greater knowledge by reading.
Baby Yeen runs
Browse.
inside and takes like a cookie that's on the ground and it qualifies.
Not
Oh
Nah,
my god,
he-
his friggin' Oshleen shows up and takes a cookie.
he runs in and grabs a deck of many things and just starts shuffling the cards.
Baby Yeen, please no. And I'm like, oh yes.
Oh, we get to do this.
There's probably a deck of many in there.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would always assume.
I will
I'm
make.
always up for a deck of many.
I also have a tarot deck, so we can figure this one out.
Yeah.
All right, enough of that. The Empress leaves you be to enjoy your meal.
My mule.
Unless you have anything you wish to do, we will fast forward to the future.
I'm ready to fast forward.
To the future.
Welcome to the 7-week-long trip. It's surprise. I mean, the boats are nice. They're nice big boats. They're those typical flat bottom boats that can traverse oceans and rivers just as well. But it is an acquired taste. How seaworthy would you consider yourselves?
I've
Not
been
at
on
all.
boats, for a while.
Seasick
Okay.
instantly.
Arbeth has never seen the ocean.
What is all this water? Who
This is where all
spilled?
the water comes from?
This is, like immediately she'd be like, I hate this. I hate it.
So you're
Why-
telling
why?
me that water, a lot of it comes from the ocean.
He just tries to drink it. Ah, that's salty. Ah, that's salty. Ah, that's salty.
She just keeps trying.
When does it stop being salty?
One of these bits is gonna be fine.
I just have to sift all the salt out of the way, then I can drink the delicious Wawa.
I like the idea of Arbeth like making like purification kits as they go along. It just keeps pouring it into the ocean.
Just leaving a trail.
Thanks, Arbeth. You've ruined an ecosystem.
You've ruined the entire ocean.
We'll
Just
get another one.
Oil slick from medieval junk.
That becomes her new name, Oil Slick Arbeth.
You know, that's not a bad name, but that sounds like a scammer name, Oil Slick Arbeth.
I was going with the ecological
Fish of
destruction.
Phoenix of
Oh.
baby bros and a gun. Is that a baby? He's got a gun. Bam, bam.
By the way, like if I hadn't been clear about it yet, just real quick, the lore is basically Arbeth wanting to be greater than she is, finds baby brows who doesn't appear to be a normal baby game, and on his flesh is basically an entire like inscribed runic language for different formulas, and Arbeth can only understand one of them.
Which is explosions.
It's the Artoka's fire. I basically worked that in there.
Zoinks.
So yeah, he's a walking formula book.
Well, let me see. Let me make sure that you got all your paychecks and payment you should have received since then. I think you got all your payouts.
I spent a
actually
little bit of it buying some stuff.
Oh right, I need to calculate how much money I spent grabbing all those potions.
Over the next
those
7
samples.
weeks, you travel along the shores. As mentioned, it's kind of boring. Unless you enjoy watching the trees change. From tropical to deciduous, coniferous, you see all kinds of trees. Even from the beach, there's always diversity. Sometimes there's even strange animals walking along. At other times, you go past routes of fishermen. My goodness. To go through cultures and environments so quickly. Cultures and climates, that's the great way to say that. To go through cultures and climates so quickly. It is inspiring.
I'm suddenly getting nostalgic.
After 1 week, you've reached the Shahui province. Hoi. Which one was it again? Where you will visit the village of Rucha. And the old spirit, Rucha, just means hot tea. Which means that if you do happen to have tongues or comprehend languages active, you're like, am I not getting this wrong? Tap, tap, tap. You are in fact getting it 100% right.
Oh.
In this lovely little village, you are presented with tea. Much tea, apparently. So, imagine walking, the boat goes on shore. You all go down a road, up into the woods, until eventually the trees part ways and revealed in fields of tea. All kinds of strange plants and quaint colors, and a path leading up to a humble abode at the center. Some of the fields are flooded, others are filled with strange plants that create thick fogs of... Ooh, that's spicy. Right at the center is a small house, made mostly of reeds and simple logs, and besides it is a... What is it called again? Pavilion. A pavilion. Under which a long table. Every single tea has been set aside with a selection. A selection of tea has been set aside. With in front of each of the teapots, which you can use to smell and get a sense for its color and texture, are small cups with which you can sample. It's late in the evening when you've arrived, so it makes for a good late night drinking session.
So we're in Yunnan province.
Potentially. These teas defy the usual expectation of what a tea is, because some of them... Let's just say that when you look inside, you don't see leaves. Some of them are filled with these small kernels of something. The definition of tea gets stretched. Some teas appear to be sort of alive as they move, despite sitting perfectly still on the table.
Oh.
You watch the biting roses in particular look with great interest at each cup, and then they just slam it like a shot glass. Thanks, Claire.
Pro tea drinker.
Can you drink tea like a professional, Claire?
I have drunk incredibly fancy tea with Zyla in real life.
I have a lot of it. I taught Claire how to properly drink tea.
Some of the tea... This has the texture of, like, industrial-grade lubricant. Not the taste. It tastes great. But probably get a steam engine to work just fine with this.
Hell yeah.
It flows over the tongue faster than an Olympic skier across the snow. Beautiful, ain't it? Another week passes. You are now up to Pecha. Whew, what a distance. The trees were melted away, hills rose. Eventually, you even came across the Nanking Bay. Pecha is your first real sign of proper civilization. It's been so long since you've been in a real city. But before you get there, you unfortunately stop in the Kim Loai Hills. Guess why? It's sword fighting time. In Kim Loai, some of the greatest swordsmen were supposedly born. It is a place that prides itself on the art of sword dancing. It is a sort of functional, but mostly visually exciting form of performance. Some would call it a martial art in the art sense, but the martial component being more for show. It is a fascinating show to behold, and I'm certain that Kuchen in particular would find this fascinating to watch. A dance.
I am legitimately this stuff.
a rapid dance, a flurry of knives and blows exchanged at breakneck speeds. It's like movie choreography, but with significantly higher speed and confidence.
Oh.
To anyone that isn't Kuchen, this is mind-boggling that people can perform such rapid actions, which, like, they'd make a show out of it. When they start their performance, they hold out like sheets of paper and they drag the knives across the show. These things are sharp enough to kill. They are not fucking around. Just like in those Cirque du Soleil performances, they might be like, "There's no net." They're really trying to sell you on the idea this is going to hurt if it fucks up. Let's see. What team would be most interested in this? Actually, don't on the Steps of the Sun, probably. Because the Steps of the Sun, they're performers. Although I don't think the Steps... Oh, well. No, they have scimitars. Cool. I guess they would be most interested then. Kuchen. Taking a close look at this. It is quite inspiring. You could try to apply some of those techniques to your own style. It'll take some time to figure it out, and you might have to find someone who can actually help you with this. There might be some sword dancing teachers in Goka.
I would definitely look into that.
It is a style of dazzling flurries. It won't work well with finishers, but it will play very nice with trying to overwhelm an opponent with your presence, which, given your speed, you're fantastic at. Why is there nothing in this game that gives you bonuses when you're super duper fast? It'd be hilarious.
I do this.
It's like, for every 10 feet of movement speed you have over the 20, you get a +1 bonus, because dumb. As mentioned, Pecha is your first real city since a long while. The crews get exchanged. You take care of your business. You make your exchanges. You sell your wares, you buy some wares.
Mm.
You then head
Also,
up.
Seth, one of the things I learned is how to craft, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that later. But
Oh, don't worry, it's easy enough. Claire can help you with that too. Your trip takes you through the Benshu Bay. And also through the Sea of Ghosts. Supposedly, on dark nights, the fog rises high and the Sea of Ghosts becomes filled with spectral lights. No one is quite sure what it is, but it is one never to sail whenever it's dark outside. The terrain changes once more into large flatlands until eventually massive crags rise and forests in the distance. The landscape becomes dominating. It kind of reminds me of a warmer Finnish climate. You're in the depth of a valley going through places. Also, the guy who made this fucking map, I hate the fact that the border lines are on all the shorelines. It ruins the shorelines. Thanks. Here you have a brief moment to stop at a Cezanne sanctuary, monastery, where they give you a delightful meditation course. Well, I want to say curses, which is what course is in Dutch. The arms of balance show off. Boy, do they show off. They even dare anyone who dares to a challenge of focus, of unity with nature and the flow of the energies of the world. Whoever dare is free to try. Would any of you be interested by this offer?
I think I'm pretty in tune with nature.
Bea
is your
knows
thing.
nature.
The arms of balance. Whoa. What's this? Oh, goodness. Oh, God, what's this guy doing? Sword dancing? Whoa.
The sword.
I imagine that there's someone else with another sword who's swinging it right at you. Whew. All right, Bear. You're at the top of a high monastery overlooking a foggy valley. The sights are quite a delight, but now you must focus on the tune of nature. This place, unlike where you've been before, this feels like a place a druid would be at ease. There is little in the terms of metal. It's mostly just carved stone and wooden structures. And now, you must face off against someone who is one of the crowd favorites. All right.
Okay.
You are guided by two monks off to a small section that overlooks a river that flows right down beside the monastery. Down, down, down. Here you will sit and gaze off southwards, in line with the teachings of this particular monastery. The person you are facing off against. Oh my goodness, I love how it doesn't. Thanks, Arms of Balance, for mentioning exactly what the composition of male human. It goes male and female human, and then two other things. Great. I can work with that. Everyone else watches from a short distance as the two sit down. You can't imagine this must be all that mentally taxing, but quickly it becomes apparent why. You don't just stand there, Bea. You're like on one leg, in tune with the lines of nature. It is a stance you are probably not too familiar with because, like you said, you're not too magical. You probably like the basics of meditation, but this is like the high tier. We're going to ley line you kind of stuff.
Uh-oh.
This is so people always like to go when you're in tune with nature, man. This is like you're a lightning rod and you're standing in the middle of a storm. It's gonna be great.
Hope nothing goes wrong.
The monk politely tells you that if you can stay in touch and tune, then surely nature will leave you untouched, and then tells everyone else to take a few steps back and head inside. Don't worry about it.
What? Now, all right, everyone, head inside.
Bea, let's start off simple. How about you give me a nature check as you try to align yourself with the sudden waves of energy that flow through you as the uncivilized masses leave. The person beside you, a male human, is in the same stance, and too seems to be dealing with this new wave of force.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, boy.
The winds that shroud this place. They become more than mere physical touch. They cleave through the soul. It feels almost as if you are drawn into the astral plane itself. Your opponent follows suit. To everyone else, the wind is starting to pick up. Mostly here. Like if you move a few rooms away, it'll be gone. But around here, the wind picks up. The small river that... What is it called again? Babbling. A babbling brook. Small droplets are picked up and form this visible whirl and swirl around them. It is definitely true that the Arms of Balance guy, which again, no names are mentioned here. Thanks for that. It says, oh, the individual name, you can find that by looking at the bottom because they all have different products. Great! Great! You could just put a freaking list in there and shrink the guy picture if you need the space. Let's see, who would make the most sense on the mountain? We have Breath of the Glacier, Draw of the Aurora. I think that guy should be on the mountaintop.
That's a cool name.
Yeah.
I love that it's only in the ability to mention the name. Ranja Shibath. Seems to have the easiest time drawing the energy towards themselves and swirling it around. Whereas Bea, able to keep up, definitely new. Starting to feel the light crackle, the spattle of freezing water. When you're on a mountain, you think the water is going to be like nice and warm?
I mean, it could be. It's hot springs is sometimes on mountains.
Bea, do you persist as the risks start to become apparent?
Yeah, I mean, might as well. Good for a penny.
Her expression still has yet to change.
I mean, it's
Normally she's
meditation.
really
That's the whole
stoic,
point.
But it's just that it's her only expression.
Yeah, don't mistake this for Zen. She's very confused internally.
Can you give me an athletics check, please?
Oh, okay.
Resist the ever-growing winds that try to push and pull against you.
That's not a bad one.
The winds pick up. Between the droplets form sparks and crackles. You feel the wind. As if the wind is a part of you. You can feel the shape, the distance, the height of the mountain. It is as if you are standing immeasurably high, despite feeling the floor directly underneath your feet. You can feel the water at the roots of the mountain, where the water level itself sits comfortably. Down, down into the heated magma. Darkness. While magma itself is quite bright, to sit within it, it is strangely dark. You can feel the roots, the tunnels of the Underdark. Sorry, the Darklands trademark.
Careful.
Ooh, yeah, demonetized.
It is quite disorienting to be in this particular state, and your balance begins to slightly and subtly shift. Your opponent seems to suffer the same, although you would not notice. The rest of the team can see. They don't. There's something like they sort of sway like trees in the wind, like pendulums, one might say. As the energy comes to a flow, can you give me one last check? A forced lore check, in fact, as you intune yourself as best as you understand.
Okay.
My goodness.
That one spun like.
That had some force to it.
Stunts.
Living up
Yeah,
to your title, do you manage to make it through before? Oh no, wait, no. Before your. God damn it, my brain can't figure this one out. You go after. You lose your touch afterwards. The growing pressure and energy, this whole sense of being everywhere at once, is quite overwhelming and overpowering. You try to do like you were taught, to feel like a tree. One that doesn't care, that sways in the breeze, that lets it all happen. But at some point, you are just knocked off your feet by the ever-growing scope and awareness of the universe. As you begin to feel the clouds and their immense nature. They're not. People go, oh, those are clouds. No, those things are massive. They're huge. To stand amongst them is to be an ant standing among an elephant. To see the forests miles away, the animals prancing through them. Millions of footsteps every single second. The earth clawed, gashed, gored by hoes, plows, and the trampling of boots.
And that's how they became an eco-terrorist.
The carving, the gutting of pickaxes in distant mines, the echoes, the screams of the stone, the howling of the wind as it is caught in the cloth of windmills. Don Quixote was onto something.
Windmills.
Eventually, this intensity knocks you off your feet. But as mentioned, the other guy has already eaten shit before them. You just didn't notice because you were everywhere at once. How could you possibly notice a single person hitting the ground at that point?
You're in so many places you didn't notice the one you were actually in.
Wow.
That's Zen right there.
It takes you a few
I'm
moments, but the arms of balance are like very upset about this. The monks give a small applause at such a dramatic performance. But hey,
We're over there like, this would have been really cool if I had any idea what just happened.
I'm gonna fight a windmill.
well, since you can turn into a dragon, you actually have good odds. Unlike a certain Don Quixote. The first time I heard of him was in a Lucky Luck cartoon, and for some reason they kept calling him Don Quixote. I wonder if that was intentional, because haha, dumb Americans. Or if the Dutch dub actor had just had no fucking clue what he was doing. A man may never know. Our journey continues.
What a woman, mate.
Journey continues. You'll find a windmill eventually, don't worry about it. Chengdu is when you are first confronted with the fact that you are in fact becoming celebrities. It's another major city, past the forests of Shangnan, on a lovely little lake. It is also a proper city. Big, tall structures of stone, and also crowds of adoring fans. Oh, whoa.
Yes. Hi there.
Which is to
Oh
say,
no, it's all that thing from Skyrim.
when the boat gets there and they kick down the thing and you get to leave, people start to run up to you. There's people with signs even. The lightkeepers aren't on the boat, by the way. They went for the teleport option. They don't want to be with any of you nerds.
Oh, mad.
How do you respond to being confronted by the fact that a lot of people think you're neat?
I am pretty into it. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I am all for showing off and performing a bit for the crowds. I am probably going to try and make more fans.
Yeah, smile,
Just-
wave.
Just
Smile,
stand
wave.
there.
The literal only thing she does.
Microphone gets shoved in Bea's face and they just clomp it.
Trees.
Chomp.
Just it's like the man. Are you worried that you're a goblin?
No.
I hate windmills.
Also, yeah, I assume that Arbeth talks to Kujan and that little haiku comes up and she's like, don't you haiku me. I know what those are.
Now, unfortunately, there's one major downside about all of you being small. When you are surrounded by your fans, you are pretty much invisible. And you are surrounded by people that are generally taller than you. Although, there's quite a few children in there too, presumably because you are so small, and strike the impression of a child.
God, we're so small.
Guys, I finally feel short.
There are quite a few people, like a few dozen of this 100 or so strong crowd that is enjoying the tournament, who are like, man, you were shorter in real life. And then they shove something in your face that they want you to sign, like a shoe, or a sword, or just a piece of paper.
I'm for the swords and the paper. I'm not sure I'm about signing people's shoes that they probably wore.
Arbeth, you notice that some are walking up to Baby Brows and they put like their paw in the ink and then Baby Brows slaps it down or something.
Yeah. That's... God, he's horrible.
When Baby Brows looks at you, they're like, I'm more famous than you, aren't I?
It's immediately gone to his head.
Once I get the lens, I swear to God.
Baby Brows like, goddamn goblin eating the mic. I love that they have a baguette too.
Oh yeah. Oh, did you post the? Yes, good. I love the comic.
I love the baguette. Why did you just eat that?
Breb.
Yeah, Brett.
You don't eat the bread.
Baby Brows is like, help me, my minions. I want a fresh meatball. Bethany, you said you were gonna wave while you're on Metal Fist back, I presume?
Yeah, we both wave.
Gosh. Man, people pens are big, aren't they? People do make big pens. A bunch of people even invite you to come on over to their house or try to give you free things, like a nice loaf of bread. Although it quickly becomes apparent that not only is it a sign of appreciation, they're also definitely trying to get in the way of the camera and like promote themselves a little.
God dang it.
Those people.
Because while you've become a little blind, it's easy after a few weeks to start forgetting. There are cameras here most of the time. Just hovering around, taking pictures of everything. Oh man. Even when the night falls, there's still outside. God dang it. Luckily, you get to enjoy some moment of peace when you get to enjoy many of the local dishes, which... How do you like your sushi?
Hopefully not cooked.
Because there are a lot of dishes that just don't look like food. How do you like your million-year egg?
Century egg. It's 100 years.
Yeah, this one's way worse.
They're actually not that
Millennium egg.
bad. I've had them before.
They offer you beans, and you're pretty sure they're rotten. And everyone's like, it's great. You gotta try it, man.
Great. Now we're just in Korea.
They also, depending on who you are, they offer you alcohol that feels way more suited for your size category.
Baby alcohol.
Sake. More suited for your size.
Okay, for a minute there, I wasn't sure if they're going for like the baijiu because that stuff's strong.
Odds are that's in there somewhere, too. And you're like, oh, wait, no. Oh, no, the mix stronger.
Yeah, I
We
like
all
to
did.
imagine that because of Kujan's memories, he knows a lot of this stuff, but only after a moment.
Okay,
It's
since...
like, oh man, this is probably okay.
Are there any other dishes that you might find in Japan or anywhere in Asia that you would go, if you were a Westerner? Sala.
We all.
Oh, we're asking for the dangerous ones. Okay.
Give me the goods.
All right. So, silkworms.
Oh.
They eat those little
It's a
guys.
delicacy in Korea, and the smell is astounding. It is horrible. I
Is it
actually
just
never managed to get them into my mouth.
is it just like regular silkworms, like cooked or anything?
I'll have to double check how they prepare them, but basically, it is the most horrible thing I've smelled. And I know people who complain about durians,
We used to have
and I tell them
silkworms when I was
who
in
know
my
nothing.
What?
primary school.
Why do these people who have this delicious thing called mochi eat stuff like this?
Mochi.
Mochi.
I do like mochi.
They have little squid sausages, little octopus sausages, and then they have these cute little things that are balls on sticks, and then they have worms.
The balls on stick is called dango, by the way.
Dango.
Dango's good.
Gosh, that just.
No, I like takoyaki because
Sala,
takoyaki.
Do you have at least for
Yeah.
us one more thing that makes you go, what?
Okay. Yeah, Bella?
I was gonna suggest like, they present to us like fugu.
Yeah, but we wouldn't know that one. I mean, there is the bee pupa.
Zoinks.
Like, they fry bee pupas and eat it. Or scorpions. I mean, I had a student just come up to me and straight offer me scorpions one day.
Fluffy bunny dongo? Oh my god, that's so cute!
Wait, let me see it. I may have had this.
Oh, it's from Monster Hunter Rise.
Because I had bunny-shaped dongo before. I should have a picture of it.
Jesus Christ, why is this so adorable?
It's a
'Cause
very
it's
cute.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah, the Rise cooking animation is actually very cute.
No, it sucks because Grandma Cat isn't in it.
Yeah, cause she was the fondue cat. She was
Yeah.
great.
When I was my last day in Beijing, I had, let's see. Shouldn't take long to reload. This.
Bellas! Oh my god, it's Grandma Cat! The Grand Meowster!
Grandma Cat. I think about Grand Meowster every day.
Why did they put so
Yeah.
much effort into the cooking animations? It's great!
The last two games they put a lot of effort into the cooking animation. Yeah.
Anyways, should we keep playing?
I can't stop thinking about that cat. Or the little bunnies, they look like porcelain.
They do.
eat
They
a
were
lot of
actually
weird food.
coconut gel. It tasted nice.
You eventually reach Lan Ming, where unfortunately the event has turned out to be cancelled. This involves a lot of apologizing, which is to say, every single person involved in the organization of the race is in a line to apologize to you profusely for the fact that the event had to get cancelled.
No.
It takes a while. You're not allowed to leave the boat or move during this process.
No.
Baby Browse is allowed to scamper off, though, and does so, and probably causes a little bit of havoc that Arbith will have to deal with later.
God dang it.
That's for the post game. The Baby Browse Fallout.
The Baby Browse's adventures.
Adventures in China.
Your next stop will be Irio Forest. It's been a month and a half, and now you are in a haunted forest. A guided tour to see the local wildlife and the playful spirits that inhabit this place. It's just a nice, relaxing place to be, watching cute little ghostly fires dance across the leaves. It's just great.
Finally, a forest.
Kiss the earth. This dirt's so tasty. That's not dirt, that's chocolate that I dropped. What are you doing? Marvelous. And after that, take a guess. It's finally time to head over to Goka itself. In quite the fashion. You'll be taking a flight over the wall of heaven. I think it's on Drake's. Drake's. During this, you see the entire mountainside, and more importantly, you soon see Goka in the distance. There are few cities in the entire Inner Sea region that can match the sprawl of Goka. As you can see, it goes a distance, doesn't it? It is a massive urban center with a few high-density areas, whereas most cities in Galarian, maybe Absalom can match this.
I can't see the map.
Oh yeah, that's because I'm an idiot and I always forget to set this fucking feature. Please. There you go.
Oh no, lost connection.
Why did it reboot on that? That's dumb. Does it have anything to do with the perfect vision module on?
Oh wow, this place is big.
Oh, that's probably
Yeah.
why.
Oh.
Goka is a big city indeed. Very large. And ahead of you. When you land, where do you land? I don't know where you land. I know there's a specific Erie where you would land. And as you land, there are people everywhere. There are interviewers for all of you, like you're guided to specific people who will be your guides throughout the city. You are asked many questions about your stay and what you will need to be here. Like, are you have any allergies? Do you require a guide that can translate for you? All those questions that I ask, you are bombarded with them. Just
Ah,
utterly tossed. Can you handle those fermented beans, or do we need to keep those out of your kitchen?
Kujan can probably do that. Yeah.
Kuchan, save us from the beans.
Not the beans.
Bean Guardian.
You're also asked a whole bunch of fun questions, like how do you feel about Hao Chin? Who's your patron gonna be? Why them? Why not someone else? What do you have against this patron? Oh, so many leading questions in there, your head starts to spin. Luckily, your guide very politely helps you along to your house. Did I mention? You get a house.
Yay!
It's on loan, baby. I finally get to go close book one. You reach, I think it's called the Ruby Village District, if my head recalls correctly. Where is it? Where is it? Says Mr. Newcomb.
Duke, when did you get here?
No, don't do that.
What else is he doing?
Here we go. This beautiful house is described as following. The immaculate and well-appointed private houses are in a typical Gokan style in order to give the visiting teams a glimpse of daily life in the city. Yeah, because most people live in fucking mansions. The houses are identical in layout as well as accommodation. The floors and roofs are made of glazed tiles. The walls are made of stone halfway up the first story and then thick dark wood the rest of the way to the awnings. Each domicile measures roughly 2,000 square feet, with a single entrance that leads to a broad courtyard surrounding a large fruit tree. Yours is a peach tree, because of course it is. The building
Hooray.
itself surrounds the courtyard on three sides. Doorways from the courtyard lead to separate sleeping rooms for each contender, as well as a spacious living room with a small hearth. And, best of all, a communal bathing area with a small stone pool that overlooks the cliffside court and the bay beyond. Attendants are at hand at all hours to provide you with anything you might need, from hot water to meals to more. There's also a kitchen you can use, there are collapsible door screens you can use, is anything you might need during your stay. And if I recall correctly, the place you are at is like on this hillside. So yes, you have a view.
Oh.
This is like a Miami view, and you get to look over all those poor people living in San Francisco. That's how America works.
America.
Your
Fantasy Asian America.
Your handler politely tells you that the actual tournament will begin in a week or so, and that you will be requested to attend a specific meeting in the morning, which will explain how the following week will go. Let's see, where's this particular section? Oh. Maybe I finally get to shut up. Here we go. Yes, you'll be invited to come to the Grand Bank of Abadar,
Oh, great.
one of the oldest and most imposing buildings. The front of capitalism in this otherwise beautiful country. They are currently imposing sanctions on themselves for reasons not made clear. Something to do with rivalries within the religious organization because of jealousy? I don't know, who cares? I mean,
It's Abadar, they're being dumb and stinky.
I know this came up in the beginning, but it hasn't really been since. The Grand Bank of Abadar, I think they actually managed the tournament for a long period of time during which Hao Chen was gone. So, yes, they would probably be involved in the tournament on some level. Not to mention the fact they have the money to manage everything, and they're lawful enough that they probably wouldn't steal from the bank even if they had to. For good guy reasons. So, yeah. Oof.
Well, heck.
Well, you're in this house, and you're by your lonesome. Other than attendants that are on call, there's like a little bell you can slap, and that would summon like an unseen servant that carries out the tasks for you.
So that's what it was like when they made me get the rice.
The unseen Kujan.
No. He was seen. He was just Yelled at loudly.
ignored.
Killed it
Gojan,
loudly.
make rice. Gojan, fight bear.
I was sometimes like 6 feet away from them and they yelled at me.
Gojan,
I'll-
fight bear.
Also, Bethany now has your, chest and foot size measurements as necessary.
What?
Why are you going around measuring feet?
And chests.
You are a strange little toy. Oh, Jesus Christ, what the hell fell on me?
Ah,
Oh, okay.
it was me. Sorry.
But sometimes,
Thanks,
you
Daisy.
you may need somebody.
I was living on your ceiling.
Putty putty.
Wait.
Phew.
So, we're finally off the boat, guys. That was an experience.
I hate boats.
This has been the
I
first
also-
time since you. It's been the first time in like 7 weeks that you've stood on solid ground, and you know that you're going to be standing on solid ground in the morning.
Just
I missed the tea.
kneeling down and kissing the dirt. Just
Tea was nice.
Praise
I'll
dirt.
I'll never leave you again.
I do not appreciate these boats and
By the way-
oaken.
Sila, I'm not good with your imperial units, or actually, I don't know much about houses to begin with. How big is 2,000 square feet?
2,000 square feet would be about like 185 meters.
No, I mean like in terms of like a house size. Compared to a suburban American home, let's put it like that.
Honestly, kind of close to a suburban American home. Like a
Pi,
pretty
so-
good sized suburban one.
Pazzi, do you want to tell us something? 'Cause apparently this can't be a coincidence, right?
Because like, if you want an example of a floor plan for a 2,000 square foot house, yes, I just happen to have on the side. There you go.
Yeah, that's fancy. Not to mention you don't have a. I mean, the floor plan probably just includes the house. The garage probably doesn't count for that, but hey.
Yeah, because like a general example of one would be this house. So pretty nice house.
Why is it so fixated on all these irregular shapes?
That's
Where-
not even like taking into account the vertical. There could be 2 stories.
Usually the square footage does count. The
Never
amount
mind.
it's the amount of floor space.
Okay.
How many boxes
Like-
could you put down, basically?
Yeah,
Oh, well.
So like a tall house, Bella would still have the same amount of floor space. It'd just be more narrow.
Well- Unless you have anything you want to do inside this lovely little house. It's best to rest up and get yelled at tomorrow as the actual adventure begins.
Yay, things to do.
Yeah, what Bethany would ask for is like an area to actually craft things and stuff
Probably
like
have
that.
space.
They can probably organize to get you like basic tools and everything set up in the yard or in like one of the spare rooms.
You can probably get whatever the hell you want. You're a cute little doll thing. They'd be like, "Oh my gosh, she
And we're
wants
also
to."
celebrities.
Well, that too.
Flutter your
She
button
wants
eyes
to
at him.
build things. Yeah, she wants to build things. Look at her. She's a little builder. Look, you're cute.
What the heck?
Ooh, ooh.
Woo.
It's the next day. Bella's room is probably full of tools and oil.
Yeah.
She's already made a mess of the place. But hey, Sir Metalphus deserves to look his finest. On this, the first day of the pre-tournament setting.
Also, when I craft, do I need to spend the money to craft?
Yep.
Okay.
Technically speaking, the way crafting works is really stupid because Pathfinder, again, for the balance, has made some really bad decisions. Baby processor? Oh, I'm dying.
What? What is this?
Claire,
It's the floor plan.
this is a smart and sensible floor plan. What's wrong, Claire?
God dang it.
Can you say no to this? You would do the same for Sharkbait if you had to. It's just a giant ferret room. Oh, the idea alone. I love how there's no
Oh,
windows in this room either. There are no windows for the baby mouse room.
Look, I don't want a possibility of them getting out and a mistake or something, an accident happening into Baby Brows.
We don't even get rooms.
you get to bunk up with Baby Brows.
Welcome to the Grand Bank of Abadar. It lives up to its name. It is one of those. Oh gosh, what is a really like kitschy art style? Oh, an old gaudy, tacky. Just imagine like a really tacky bank building that clearly has more money than common sense.
Uh,
Like one of those ones that looks like the Parthenon,
Oof.
or the columns.
Yes, go for that Greco-Roman style. Everything here is Asian, and this is Greco-Roman bleached white building in the center of it all. Oh,
Abadar's not an Eastern god. Abadar has their own style.
I mean, Abadar is. Here's the problem that I have. It's you can very clearly tell that they made the gods for the inner sea first, and they were like, "Oh wait, why would Asia have different? Oh fuck!" And they brought their temples,
Wait, shit, different regions.
and now they have to
get
go.
it now.
Oh, but this spell is uncommon because it's like no. If Abadar gives this spell, why wouldn't he give it to anyone else? Why would Abadar lock himself in geographically? That makes no sense. In case you forget, Abadar's so big he could probably walk from Chinsha to Inner Sea in like a day.
Yeah, but more worshippers for gods is always
Always
that's what
nice.
they want.
You are invited into one of those. Oh man, you can just imagine one of those fancy CEO offices with all the latest fancy craze things, from a mahogany table to a bookcase full of books they've never read. And then the guy behind actually the guy who's running this place, I think he describes like a very old goofus. It's not 10 figures because I added a few more patrons for kicks. Let's see. I think I added 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes, so there would be 13 figures stand within this office. It's a big office.
Oh no, Organization 13.
Oh no, it's exactly 13 people, and they're all heartless. No way to nobodies.
The X on you, Kujian.
I don't have an X.
He used his sigil. How did he? What?
Kujian looks at himself as like very plain clothes, looks for the X. What are you talking
Sorry, I'm
about?
a
X?
swashbuckler. You know it's not plain.
The X of your belts crossing on your pants.
I actually like the idea. You're just walking around wearing kind of fancy foppish clothes, and you look at yourself. Where's the sex? It's there. Where? It's right there. That's not a location.
In case you wondered how big this office is, it also contains all 8 teams, which means this room is currently an extreme fire hazard, as it probably contains easily 40 people. Or more. Baby Brows is just scampering between everyone's legs, because that's just fun to do. Oh, wait, I forgot. Oh, no, the person in charge is, in fact... I mean, she's got a bit of a baby face, I guess. She could be a boss baby if she just shaved. It worked on her Alec Baldwin impression.
Like that little Pixar eyebrow.
Marvelous. Anyway, the figures stand in the fine office of the Grand Bank of Abadar, all bathed in the amber light of the morning sun, and also probably colored glass. You know, letting glass windows, because this office is going places. Letting glass, does it match with Greco-Roman? Doesn't matter. It was expensive. That's why they got it.
Makes sense.
The Ruby Phoenix Houchin. I love that that's her title, but something about it just doesn't work. I don't know. It feels like there needs to be a comma in there somewhere. In her eponymous crimson finery. Oh god, there's all these words. Chen Tang woman, which means nothing to you. Why bring it up? In gold and white silks worn by the clergy of Abadar. And 8 well-dressed aristocrats. There's a guy in a cloak, a bird in a cloak, and 2 dragons who, honestly, I have no idea how the fuck they fit in this room. They shrunk down, let's put it like that.
They're calling in remotely.
Remote conferencing!
Oh my god.
This is an
Working
office.
from home.
Probably have to, or shrink down. That just seems very undignified. The cleric of Abadar, before holding her arms up, and addresses everyone. You're at the entrance of the room. They're like at the desk sitting at fancy chairs. They all have their personal... Oh, god damn it, this room is just so full! So there's the people. All the people. There's the personal guard. There is the local Abadar guard standing outside the front door. There's 8 teams. Jesus. Good morning, contenders. It is my honor to welcome you to Goka and congratulate you on once more on successfully qualifying for the Refix tournament. Which makes, again, the fact that they titled you as finalists in Book 3 all the more awkward. Since you technically... whatever. But I will waste no more time with pleasantries. You are here, 2 weeks in advance of the start of the tournament, to familiarize yourself with the glorious city of Goka. This has no actual bearing on the tournament, which begs the question why I'm telling you to familiarize yourself with the city.
Right.
This feels this whole conversation has been stumbling over itself in terms of purpose and point. I present to you the tournament's patrons. Business leaders, politicians, and eccentric individuals who have made the appropriate donations. Hailing from the most prestigious corners of Goka and beyond, these patrons will cover the substantial fees associated with entering and competing in the Refix tournament. Did that come up in the other module? I'm going to look that up. And perhaps more. Throughout the coming weeks... it's 2 weeks, so wouldn't it be you are invited to attend a variety of events at the different locales where you will have the opportunity to meet one or more of your patrons. During these gatherings, all potential patrons will identify the teams whose personalities and goals align with their own interests. At the end of the week, each patron will make offers to sponsor teams who have most impressed them. If you see multiple offers, you can choose the sponsor whose offer or personality you find most appealing. Following this process, the final week is rest and relaxation before the start of the Ruby Phoenix tournament. Oh, that's how it works. Thank you. She introduces all the available patrons, starting off with Malaika Tao. Malaika Tao is introduced as a business teacher, magical teacher, administrator, and renowned big fan of Hao Qin. She probably has that symbol on her clothes somewhere. Let's see if you can find it. Next is General Kaso Hida. He is a mercenary broker. He's not actually a general. He does not actually command a standing army official in official capacity, but he is a tactician intellectual, likes his books. Next we have Lord Alderon Unmar. An alchemy magnate, a fencing enthusiast, and, let's say, a bit of a tryhard. Next off we have Big G and Colorit. Dragons who, after the tournament, felt that they had to give back a little bit. They're pranksters, racers, and thrill seekers, which you can tell that the Abadar lady's like, Next is Lady Chow Mai Shai, the female human, the lady in waiting. She likes people who are direct. She's an enthusiast for animals in the lot, and she loves people that go fast. Lady Shai Xia is a patron of the arts, a lover of songs, and an admirer of those who demonstrate nothing short of courage. The bird lady in the coat is a representative of something known as the... She looks at her sheet of paper to verify that she's reading this right. The Interplanar Guild of Conveniently Placed Well-Stocked Merchants, who are not associated with the Bank of Abadar under any meaningful capacity, who apparently sells eccentric and erratic... You mean eccentric? You mean eccentric, right? Not erratic? An experiment, whereas loves a risky move. Will definitely offer at least one... You can't tell people what you're offering... And finally, not finally, excuse me, I forget, the last 3 are just not available to you because they're already preset. They already have their minds all made up. In interviews, they've said it multiple times. We have, I'm not too sure. Somewhere in that code is something. This isn't an introduction to who you are. But by the sounds of it, they have a selection of rare goods on sale. You can just visit a Bank of Abadar if you wish to make purchases of the highest order.
Oh.
We have Lady Yensing Jurai, owner of the Red Dragon Casino, and immediately gets up. I, of course, am betting on Tino's toughest. Why would I go for anyone but the underdog with the biggest chance to make a splash? Sit down, Miss Jurai. Next we have Lord Bukan Tagora, the spider of Goka, who has already told me that he will be sponsoring the Lightkeepers out of sheer spite for the rest of you. Delightful.
Fair enough.
He likes a tragedy. I respect that.
Lady Nasvani Vagarov has also told me that despite her background as a weapons trainer who would possibly be interested in some of the more exotic policies, says that she will sponsor the Arms of Balance. For merchandising purposes, which will have to be discussed with me on a later date, remember that we technically own the merchandising rights for all individuals for the duration of the tournament and for a week beyond.
There's a coup, John.
She rolls up her little scroll. As mentioned, it would significantly benefit you to appease a patron of your choosing, and perhaps more. After all, I find it quite amusing to watch individuals who are not directly associated with the Bank of Abadar waste their money on us. Snicker, snicker, as it were.
Ah.
All right, let me give you the basics. If you are familiar with what's known as probably not, War for the Crown, there's a system of influences. I already laid it out earlier, somewhere. I forgot where. But basically, you have to impress these people if you want them to give you the good stuff. And boy, they will offer you some good stuff. Don't forget, these are some of the richest people in the city, in the country perhaps. They can afford a lot.
Already so rich. Like, but I mean, yeah.
Oh, they also offer items and like special services, so don't forget that.
Ah, there we go. There we go. Man.
The alchemist fencer seems like someone who would want to appease, because they meet up with two of our parties. You know, shticks.
True.
Also, the bird lady could be good because, you know, we do shenanigans.
We do
That is
shenanigans. We
I don't trust that wizard dude, though.
What, the magical teacher?
Yeah, because we don't like magic.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know about that wizard. He's a little too scamp for the dapper.
I don't trust no wizards.
And there's Shy Mashai. Shy.
Shy Sha. There's also Chio Mai Shy.
That one. Ooh, you know. Was peaked by us.
Yeah, they sound like they're interested in our particular brand of nonsense.
Your particular brand of nonsense is somehow perfectly aligned with them.
Yeah. like as far as perfect fits go, we're 3 for 3.
Well, don't forget, you're always allowed to choose. Like, you don't have to choose until way at the end. Up until then, you just get to meet a bunch of them and get to schmooze who you want.
I like schmoozing.
I do like smooching.
So,
well, I like research. But...
We'll do it next time, because next time you guys get an influence round. Because they're all here. The gang's all here, so you can influence whoever the hell you feel like.
Yeah.
No. Not necessarily diplomacy. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I know you can do other things. I just wanted to prove a point.
So, if anything, diplomacy and deception, like the actual social skills, are generally the worst choice. So, from this point forward,
just to see what happens with my diplomacy.
So the way this is going to go from here is you have a week during which you can go to a variety of events. You can go to the Erie. You can go to the 5 Pillars Academy. There's a whole bunch of buildings around town. There's a couple of events they've organized, like an art event and a grand performance and everything. And you get to visit those places. You get to shake some hands, meet some people, learn taste some of the local flavor a bit more in person.
God, I didn't know I could drag this around.
Drag what around? The die?
The die. I didn't know I could move them.
You can pick it up and fling it around.
You could do that?
Yeah, apparently. This pleases me.
Oh yeah.
Hey, if you have multiple dice, by the way, you can actually stack them on top of each other.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful, but you can do it.
It's great. But hey, I'm gonna pop off so I can take a shower and go to bed.
Next time, Book 2 begins as our grand heroes must make name, fame, and fortune for themselves.
Hooray.
Will our heroes leave a positive, lasting impression, or will they be forgotten by the eras of history? I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know.
Don't worry. You'll get into plenty of scraps afterwards. Today was just a transition from A to B. And after that, there's the tournament. It's so close. Soon. Will you even make it through the first round? We'll never know until we get there.